Well, I definitely agree we are part of the community. You know, we're here in town. The college is a part of the town. But I think, you know, there is a substantial disconnect with Chestertown as a community because, you know, we don't really, you know, it's almost as like it's two different worlds. You know, you have the college operations, you have college, you know, student life here and things like that, and then you have the town life. So they function fairly different, you know, in terms of policies and things like that.
I think Kyle definitely does much more because I mean, in my 4 years, he'll be like, oh yeah, let's go here. And I'm like, I've never gone there. I mean, I still do. Especially the restaurants. I do a lot of patronage at the restaurants. I like to not have to eat in the dining hall as much as possible.
A lot of people think that you know, the kids never go out of the.
I love going out, and there's actually really good restaurants. Whether it be right in Chestertown or it be within like 20 minutes or so of here. So I don't do as much as Kyle does for sure, because he also is big in the community because he does like the Harry Potter festival and things like that.
Oh, so right.
So he is much more like connected to the community in that way than I think the average person is, especially me.
I kind of feel a little bit like the exact opposite, but I think it's like depends on like how you connect with people, because like I'm going to town several times a week and like
what do you do?
I go to the coffee shops. I like to just like go into the shops and kind of like interact with the people downtown.
Do you think that you're unique in that sense? I mean, do your friends do that as well?
I mean, him.
Oh.
So I leave campus pretty often because I'm on the rowing team here, and so like I go into town every day and I'm like just seeing all these people, and sometimes we're going out on the water and we see the Chester River Rowing Club, and that's just a bunch of residents, and then we have that interaction, and they're all really nice people. And occasionally we go to the farmers market, and again we have these conversations with the vendors there, and it's just really nice to see like these people from the town and have connections with them. Not only that, but we we have to get involved. For example, when we did like the rail trail, Chestertown and Washington College have a really interesting connection because they both thrive off of each other. Like Washington College tries to sell itself using the town somewhat. Yeah. Like for example, students come here not just because they like the school, but because they like the town. Yeah. And at visits, I know they handed us out maps, like several maps of town, and told us to look around and just sort of fall in love with Chestertown, and by extension fall in love with Washington College.
We had that. They didn't really talk about the town as much in my class,
or any of the things that go on in town,
type of events or things like that. I mean, I'm sure I think the only thing they advertised was accommodations, the Holiday Inn.
It's not really the amount of money. Obviously, like as we said, $100 is not that much when you really think about it. And I understand why Mayor Serino, the way it came across was just very like, oh, it doesn't matter. That's right. And that's what I guess I had a problem with.
I think that's
and it never like, and the reason like I was also upset about it, we had to read about it and like, and you know, it's not like it's not like even school officials even came to us like, hey, this is what we're going to go be talking about at the town meeting with Mayor Serino, anything like that. So it was very like kind of like trying to hide it from us, I guess, and like be like, oh well, surprise, this is what we decided. Now you guys are going to have this money.
We're Chestertown residents. You know, we're Washington College students. You know, we pay housing fees. You know, water and fees like that. That's all included in our tuition. But we shouldn't have to pay Maryland taxes to live here on our campus, you know, and that's just my opinion on that.
I totally understand where he's coming from, but then I guess the way I think that he should have proposed it more, I guess maybe to not upset the students so much, is discuss with the school about keeping our tuition the same, but discussing with the school, okay, $100 out of that tuition they already pay, you're going to give that to us, to the school, or have some sort of agreement with the school. Okay, you guys are going to pay this amount per year that you're already taking from the students anyway. It was more just the fact that they just wanted to add more on top. It's like in my 4 years here, the price of tuition has just exponentially increased. So it's kind of like I've always seen increase and it's been always little things. And so that was my issue with it.
For me, like being here and paying my tuition like isn't like as dependent on that exact amount of money, because I have like the loans and I don't have to pay like a lot out of pocket. But I can see why people would be upset to talk about like how much like out of pocket they can pay with what they have and what they're able to get. Like people who live like off campus and like they can be considered like more residents of the town than maybe people who live in dorms are. But also, like as you said, with the infrastructure and with like 14 or 1500 students like tramping around town, it probably, even if we do help the local economy and we do like provide businesses with money, there's also going to be downsides to that, like on any college campus, people like getting up to shenanigans or just little accidents that could happen.
Sure.
I just think that any like little bit that the college can do to help, maybe not us directly with our tuition, but anything that I think the college can do to help the town would be beneficial for both of us.
It's nice to know that my tuition isn't going to increase by possibly thousands of dollars within the next year, and it's just more like, it gives me a more secure feeling. But yeah, really. However, adding more money to that, just like, it doesn't help me.
Objectively, $100 is not too much per student, and if he's talking about just $100 per student, I'm sure that like lump sum can be taken out of like whatever the college does with the rest of our tuition.
This is the start of something great. You know, it is a conversation. We're starting it. Even as college Democrats, we are starting that conversation, you know, and I would even probably reach out to Mayor Serino and even say, you know, we should start a forum, start a community event with this. Instead of holding just a town meeting, you know, counselors and one representative or a few representatives from the college and stuff, invite all parties, you know, even probably inviting President Baer to this meeting, students, President Frey, you know, president of the Student Government Association, members of, you know, political organization, president of College Republican, president of College Democrats, these type of members to be present at this. And I think even that, I think it would probably be beneficial to the community as a whole and really integrate that connection. That for Washington College to be as old as it is, you know, founded in 1782, 234 years old this year, I believe, and you know, it's interesting to see where the off-putting comes from the town and the college. Why is there this divide, and why do we feel this way when the Chestertown wants to impose this on us as students? So it is interesting to see that, because in reality, one may look at this and see, wow, you know, Washington College, as old as it is, should be really connected to Chestertown, and we should be working together more on this, you know, and it's interesting to see why that isn't today. The hospital is, you know, instrumental to being a student here, you know. That's one of the things I came here for, you know. Everything here is in this small town, you know, and if they, you know, even sabotage somewhat of the operations of the hospital, you know, what is the nearest hospital in Middletown? Yeah. You know, it's 45 minutes away, you know. Yeah. That's really, really bad if someone has a die-hard, you know, emergency, that they would have to travel that type of distance.
Have you used the hospital?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. Julia can.
I have you?
Yes, I have.
I have. Not every year.
Gastritis?
I've had things. I fell off, like my bed was bumped my freshman year, and I fell off the ladder and got a concussion. So obviously I had to get like an MRI, things that like if they cease operations or certain operations would be horrible. Especially weekends, they're not open because we're such a small school. We're not a big school who has 24/7 care. We don't, even our like our Walgreens doesn't have like a minute clinic like some other Walgreens and things do. So if, you know, if the hospital itself, you know, closes, or not closes but has a lot less services, I mean, that could be bad for not just the students but also the surrounding people.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised to see that like a lot of people are handing out, like there's a petition going around in town that I've seen, like people standing around and like trying to pass things out and get people information, but I really haven't seen like anyone do that on campus. I think there's one in the library, but
yeah, I haven't seen it on campus.
I haven't like seen anyone like advocating for it, and I think that like like we should do something about it more, because like it's obviously a very important resource for the town, but I think like being probably a quarter of the town's residents here, and probably being the people who use it the most, like the students should definitely be more interested and more invested in what happens to the hospital.
Yeah.